YouTube. How's it going? How are you doing? Look who it is. This fantastic force of the fun here. Wait, what? Oh, it's Avery. How are you doing, Avery?
Good. How are you guys doing? Hello, team.
Sam.
We haven't seen each other
How's
in
it going, Sam?
a few months.
I'm tired.
Aren't we all?
Nothing's changed.
Sick and Christopher, Dick the man. What's the scoop?
These four walls are closing in, man. Like, I'm an introvert, and I don't usually like going places, but I also like having the option of going places, and that has been taken away from me. I can't even go see a movie, dude. Like, movies.
Yeah,
Not
that's
happening.
what
The Loft, my favorite place ever, is closed.
Yeah, as soon as I move right behind it, now I don't have access to it. Cruel jokes, universe. Cruel jokes.
This and many other things closed down. I'll tell you what, professional wrestling prevails. Cheers.
There's no fans in the crowd, but it's there.
Alright.
So weird for them.
It probably is. I'll take it, though. Because you know what? It's weird because people make that comment. Like, it must be weird to wrestle in front of 0 people. It's like, there's like 4 million people watching on television. But there's just, yes, it's very quiet. It's been
Quiet,
very
yeah. They should
Right.
have like music playing really loud or something.
Now, some wrestlers have done that, like ECW, where they keep the. It's excellent. It's actually keep the rock and roll going the whole time. It's very fun. But here we are again for the first time in a long time, kind of the first time forever, because it's a little different this time. We've done a podcast. Me and Avery have done a podcast, right? Podcast, remember those days?
A few, right when we got started. All right.
Yeah, all 3 of our episodes, and then the world closes its doors. The world broke. Yeah.
And we were so adorable that we didn't even want to acknowledge it. We were like, let's not even talk about it. I felt bad even for making one joke. And the joke was more about social distancing than anything else. But now, wow, what a cataclysm. This is horrific.
Yeah.
Right? We all have to adapt. So we don't have to talk all about that. We can talk about all about what we've been doing because we've been several, what do we call them? Freelancers, contractors, right?
Contractors, freelancers, all that good stuff. Definitely contractors in our case, just because we do work exclusively with one company
Oh, yeah.
I do a
on a
lot of
regular
freelance.
basis.
A lot of this freelance fun, doing all this sort of thing. And the whole world has had to, take a big pivot. That's what's been going on. And with the big pivot has been all this, I don't know, this. Lots of screens, right, guys? Is it harder to be in a Zoom meeting than it is to be in a real meeting? Do you find they're more, exhausting?
No, because I can usually turn off my camera for a second, kind of make just, random faces, and then come back, and I'm like, hey, sorry, the cat.
Is that what you're doing?
Volumes of meetings. That's the difference. I don't think it's being in a meeting. It's like, oh, by the time you've done your 12th hour of the, second day, you're like, no more. I don't want to look. I never really even want to look at my computer again.
We all have a much different relationship with the old computer door. That's for sure.
Yeah, no. And there's
I spent some time because I'm doing a lot of freelance design, right? And I'm making videos, and then that also involves Photoshop. The other day, I was up for 26 something hours, and from noon to noon, I was clicking. And
Oh, man.
It was like, and I had tennis elbow.
Yeah.
Because it's Photoshop, there's a lot of clicks there, and then you're editing films and videos with lots of clicks. Mind-numbing too. It's a lot. It's a lot of sitting at this computer, and then, just like Chris said, how do you leave? Where do you go?
Yeah. Yeah. No, our outing for me and my wife was literally going to Culver's, and we sat in the parking lot and had dinner. Instead of sitting in the house, we sat in the parking lot.
Yeah, we've been talking about that because my boyfriend Josh works at a coffee shop, and right now it kind of feels like people are using that as their one day to go and do something. It's like, oh, thank you for being open because we had something to do today, and that was go get our coffee. And let's just use it. It's that much of an exciting event for people.
I believe it.
You know,
The place I've gone is one friend's house. Basically, me and her have been ping-ponging a little bit. I have one quarantine buddy. And my roommate. My roommate and I are more like neighbors than roommates. Because he's like, yeah, nope.
I'm not doing it.
No.
No, I miss the collaboration because I mean a lot of the people that I know from our local film scene, we did absolutely everything we could, and Sam can attest to this. We connected with the L.A. Film Office, reaching out to the L.A. Film Office,
Right.
going, "Hey, we can still do productions. We can still be on set. Here's how everything would work." We were even going to be using Zoom for the producers to be watching from their own houses, like an on-set camera that we could switch back and forth from like the main, talent camera that's actually capturing whatever commercial or film, and then switching it over to like a wide view where they're talking to the director and doing everything remote and having like micro crews, right? Like we couldn't have more than 4 people together, so like it would just
Zooming before zooming was cool.
yeah, yeah. Like we were talking about doing all this and we're trying to reach out and just collaborate, and that's a huge piece that I'm missing out of my life is because I don't have that anymore. Like there hasn't been anything filming. Like it was eerie that I went over there a couple days ago, back from my day job. I actually had to go check on the server back at the office, and I swung back and I was going to say hi. One person. I haven't seen that place that empty ever. It was crazy, and I think part of this isn't really only yeah, we're able to consume all this media, but without human interaction and collaboration of having like actual humans there with you, I think a lot of us are starting to go nuts. I mean, this has been a full month now, and we're going what another 3 weeks here in Arizona.
At least. I've been in since Pi Day. That's how I remember Pi Day. So I'm
Yeah,
like, when this lifts, it'll be 2 straight months. And if we're playing a game that I invented called like quarantine points, where you really like you only lose points for how many times you go out or do things. I'm at like a 98. I've been grocery shopping 3 times. I stopped at a Circle K once. I'd like take a bath afterwards because I'm just freaked out. And like that's it. In almost 2 months, it's been quite the dip and leave it. I walk around outside a bit, but not much. You know.
Yeah.
yeah. No, we've been doing like the local grocery store. We've been going to early in the morning because we know that nobody's going to be there, and it's really been working out. There's hardly anyone there, right? But we had to do the dreaded Walmart run. We
Fun.
ran out of some bathroom materials. We ran out of, like some of the things that you don't want to buy at other stores because it's stupid expensive. So, yeah, clippers to cut our own hair because, oh my God, my hair was driving me nuts. Right? So, no, I think this is killing a lot of different communities and communication, and I don't know what it's going to look like when we come out when we actually have to face each other again.
Well, that's the big question. It's like trying to be a futurist. It's trying to think about like what's next. What's it going to be like? Because much like we once, lived in a post 9/11 world, we now live in a
Yeah,
post COVID-19 world. That's going to be forever changed. It's
Yep.
gonna
yeah.
Yep.
We're
There's no
like
going back.
these previous 5 years of like what's been hell for our country because every year there's been something major that's been like holding back society a little bit. Having what is it? Economical issues, having a lot of major corporations take over, tuition going skyrocketing. It's raised almost 9% in the past 5 years alone for tuition and that's for state universities that they're tracking. They didn't even look at the private universities. It's been ridiculous. And then and then 2019 was like, oh my God, this was a horrible year. Here comes 2020 out of the dark closet, going like, yeah, watch this shit.
Well, the one thing I don't know if everyone realized, COVID-19 started at the end of 2019.
It
This
did.
was already a thing in December.
Yeah.
End
Sure.
of November, beginning of December.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's been
It just
going on.
skyrocketed when it came into 2020, but this has been happening for a long time.
Well, the spread was slow. Slow at first.
Yeah.
I believe. That's just what it is.
Yeah.
It's a terror. It's a terror to think about. And it's a terror to see how they don't show this part in the movies. They always show you when it's all dilapidated and Will Smith's already there.
Yeah, right?
Like the outright refusal. I remember. I mean, just think about how it was even a few weeks ago when like some people still refusing. Like, nah, screw that. That's nonsense. And there's still a lot of that going on. But you're
Right.
so angry about it, like because you just want people. I don't know. It was hard to wrap my head around a lot of it, and you get a lot of like emotional roller coasters. I was saying a lot of people. You're watching Hysteria, you're watching the stuff, you're watching several groups always overlapping, going through 7 stages of grief at different times, and like it's just this weird reset cycle that's been really hard to like normalize. And you don't want to normalize it. It's getting normalized.
Right.
It's like you gotta fall in line, and no one
No.
But for certain things, it's like, oh crap, I gotta fall in line.
Right.
You know?
No, and even for our group, like we've been trying to pull together and make this work. Like, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do? And really, it's like we've been trying to avoid talking about this very subject, but now it's like, no, this is ingrained in our life. This is something that's going to be, the next generation is going to be like, oh, how'd all that shit go down? Like, and we don't even know what the end of this looks like. Like, this could get worse. I hope it gets better. But, I did a deep dive yesterday to prepare and what we were going to talk about, right? Like, you get stuck into the Google, and then you get on YouTube, and then you find yourself on some deep dove Reddit post. And something that a lot of the news stations are talking about, they're talking about the virus itself, but they're not talking about the people who are alive and well and in their homes, shelter in place how they should be, and how much depression has climbed up, how much anxiety has climbed up, how many, the percentage of suicide increase going from week to week and month to month is insane. So, I mean,
Now, let me ask something.
we're alive.
I've been afraid of that and haven't looked. Like, is that going up? Is it?
Oh, yeah, it's going up. Yeah, and even in people who work, even a 9-to-5 job, which to me, I have no idea how my wife does it. Like, I can't do cubicle world. It just doesn't work for me. But she's even going a little nuts where it's just her and I, but she's used to talking about to 20, 30 people a day. She's walking around the office. She's getting exercise. She's getting her job done. She's one of those bigwig manager people or whatever. She's the boss in heels and getting shit done in the office. And all of a sudden now she's like, I just sit here. Like, we got a note on our refrigerator saying you're not hungry, you're just bored.
I'm looking at comments. I got comments on the phone here. It's like domestic violence is up.
Yup.
Here's the other thing. I did see something else because you got Cuomo's in New York, Governor Cuomo. Again, we're talking about heavy stuff. Who are we? But whatever. We'll move past it. We're going to address it.
Yeah.
Because Cuomo was saying, because some people are addressing this, where it's like domestic violence stuff. He's like, not death. Hey, this is up. It's not death. Yes, depression's up, but it's not yet death. Because that's what some people are using as like, this is why I should be able to go out. It's like, no. Like, as much as it's going to be hard and we got to struggle mentally with what it is, the other alternative is death.
Right.
And not your death, you killing others by whoops. Because you wanted to go to the beach. And that's a lot of it. But
Yeah.
This is heavy stuff, and this is what everyone's talking about. Are we the group to be talking about this? Is this what we want to talk about?
No. Let's talk about art. Let's talk about, what art came of different periods from this piece. Like, I'm really interested to see in a modern world what's going to come of this. I mean, one of my favorite art movements is German Impressionism. That came out of World War II.
Yeah.
And, every major war has had a major art movement out of, after it. Every major event in human history had an art movement after it. I mean, look at the Renaissance period. It went from weirdness to all this kind of stuff. So, I mean, like, I'm interested to see, like, what's going to happen with advertising art, what's going to happen with movies and TV, like, all the different media,
It's going to be meme nouveau.
Yeah, meme nouveau. I saw you grinning there. I knew you had something under your hat. What are you guys worried about, Sam, Avery? What are you looking forward to anything?
I want to go to a movie theater.
Right? What are you looking forward to? It's a good idea.
Yeah.
All I want is to get out of my house. I work here, I sleep here. Like, it gets a little difficult just because you work where you're sleeping. There's no separation of work and your life.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that gets a little mind-numbing. Which by Thursday, I love going over to the studio. Chris and I spent pretty much the entire of quarantine together.
Sure.
Which we drove in a car together. We were like, if we're getting sick,
No,
we're
everyone's
getting
basically
sick
died.
Yeah.
together.
We were in we were in LA when they started locking everything down. The night that they announced the lockdown, we were in LA at a film festival surrounded by people.
If we're getting sick together. So I think going over there, I'm good. I know I'm healthy. I know he's healthy.
Right.
So that's been helpful, but it's definitely, there's just been a lot of long days, and it's getting...
Yeah, and even our Thursday nights is like an explosion of energy out of nowhere because like we see each other and it's like, oh my god, people!
Other than being at home.
No, it's true. All true.
So it's those...
Avery, what have you been doing?
I mean, same thing as everyone else. Just
What are you
working,
looking forward
staying
to?
home. I'm looking forward to when everyone is excited to go out and enjoy enjoy things, because I've obviously, you guys know at this point that I'm a huge part of the music world and things such as that. So I'm excited to see where it was hard to get people to go out to shows and enjoy things. Now it's going to be like everybody's going to be flooding everything and wanting to enjoy things and be happy and lively. Go to restaurants, go eat places, go enjoy things, and we're going to see like just this huge like burst of enthusiasm in the world.
Local shows are gonna get a lot of attention.
I think so.
I hope so.
I
Need to
hope-
support it.
I mean,
Yeah.
I want to do something tonight. Okay, we'll go see this local show. You want to go out? Then go support these local artists that were left in the dust during this time.
Go
Yeah.
out and have fun.
Yeah.
Go out and have a beer with your friends and listen to some music and go have food afterwards.
Yep.
Let's have some fun together. We need a community again.
And that's what I was trying to say before.
Enjoy things and around entertainment and everything else. Like it's all together.
Right.
Not just one thing.
And that's what I was trying to say before is that, like, you know, all of us creative types are locked into these rooms. What do? We grab whatever medium we can and play with it. I mean, I've been writing scripts that are absolute garbage, but I mean, I've been writing. Like, I'm pretty sure one of my characters says in there, I don't know what to write anymore. I'm going to go to bed. Like, that's what I was talking about earlier is like the art that's going to come out of this, because I know the musicians are sitting there, you know, playing on their instruments, trying to figure out, you know, the next sound that they're going to have. I know that a lot of people are going to be writing. I know that there's probably going to be a lot of people actually picking up hobbies and or things that they're going to do at home that they never did before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
My wife picked up crocheting, and like after, you know, she got a kit from a friend, and she was sitting there playing with it, watching YouTube videos, going along with it. By the end of the day, it looked like her stuff was like pro, right? Like the beginning of the day is like, whoa, this is like super holy. At the end of the day, I'm like, that's a product. No, that's what I'm looking forward to, is seeing the explosion of what culture is going to follow. And of course, it's going to be local at first, but you know, as art always does, which is connecting people over distances, over languages, over cultures, is what is going to happen. What is going to be the next thing? You know?
I
Well,
would
at least we're all
invest.
affected now, so.
I would invest in the concept of cuddle puddles.
The Cuddle Cafe.
Sometimes you have big groups of friends. We used to work in a restaurant, so you really bond, you know, because it's you against them. And you get out of work, it's 4 a.m. and you go home, and you're all, you know, you go to drink and do whatever you're gonna do. And then there's no room on the couch. You all gotta squeeze in, and everybody lays on each other, and it's a cuddle puddle. And that's a type of friendship that not a lot of people have, because people don't like physical that. People sure are missing that physical that, right?
Right.
Can't wait to you know, hug a person.
I know as a company, Danielle and I want to put together a huge camping trip, which was supposed to happen early May. I was like, hey, if we go up north in the mountains in May, it's going to be perfect. It'll be nice and cool at night. We'll sleep well. Maybe mid-70s, lower 80s during the day. It'll be perfect. Let's go. We'll create our own little camping village, and we'll just stay up there for the whole week. Invite everybody up. It'll be great. Like, just, you know, no electronics, no nothing. Just board games and playing instruments and taking pictures and having fun. And now it's like, well, I guess we could do it in, like, September. No, it's definitely missing. You know, you go through the day and you don't realize how much you actually take for granted. You know, swinging by and getting that ice cream or something and treating yourself every once in a while. Now you're looking at it like, I don't want to go out. The drive-thru is going to be like 30 minutes. It's not going to be worth it. Yeah, no, it's a lot, and it sucks.
Like Bookman's or just.
Oh,
you know,
God,
just
yeah.
Going out in the street and just like seeing like businesses open that normally would be, and it's not. It's not quite ghost county, but it's
I was driving down University to go down to the office where we work, and for like 3 blocks, I didn't see a car. I was like, this isn't University.
Like,
Bumper to bumper all day.
especially right now, I would be avoiding it because
Right.
we would be getting like ready for graduation and things. Would be like, no, not going to that area. Now it's empty.
Yeah.
You know You know, it's funny. You say that, and like that's what it was. So you know when I was having a tough time, regardless of some of this. It all came crashing down. And the thing that finally made me burst into tears is I looked on my closet and I have a bag, and it's Jeffrey Giraffe from Toys R Us.
Oh.
Like, you know, all I want to do is I just want to go walk around Toys R Us. And I'm like, but I can't, and it's because it's gone. And you're just like, oh, and you finally like have the, because you need to do it when things are down sometimes. Oh my gosh.
Yep.
It is. I think that's what I miss. I miss restaurants. I want to go to a restaurant.
I want to go to a noisy restaurant. Like, as much as I avoided it before, like, that sounds like a great idea right now. Like, even like Applebee's, man.
And of course, it's like right
Walking
now we're
downtown.
Yeah, I know, and like it had to be right at the end of, the cold, that rainy kind of thing that we got. It's like, oh, sun's out. Oh, everything's closed. Go back inside. It's fine.
Tower is actually like well lit.
Right, and for like Tucson, like we missed our spring. Like our spring is like a solid 3 weeks of awesome sun, and it isn't overly hot. And now I look at my phone, it's 95.
105 tomorrow.
Yeah, 105, 95 degrees right now, and I'm like, that's it. Spring's gone. Like.
Yeah, like, if we could just had our 3 summer months, taken care of, I guess, like that would have been
That would
worse.
be great.
Yeah, it would have been
Stay
fine.
inside all summer.
Too hot.
I like the background.
Adjusting some sound settings and dropping stuff. There we go. Nice.
I painted this with, this was on the street. It was a big event that we did outside, and we were supposed to do another one of those. It's called Art Wall, right? Same thing. This one was, I called it Thumbs Up because you were supposed to use your thumbs, but we obviously had to like mash some stuff around. But people would come by, and if they just stopped, and I would get them to do that and that. I got over 200 something people that painted this, and I worked 13 hours.
Nice. That's awesome. No, that's another thing.
I miss community events a lot, and I do miss downtown because I am not a hermit. I spend a lot of time here doing art and stuff like that sort of thing, but I ping pong all over because again, I love to network. I love to stop people's jobs or stop at their stores or go to their shows. Like I am the guy that goes to shows,
Right.
and like tries to go to art gallery openings and go to all that stuff. And it's been hard to be like, oh God, like I haven't talked to a lot of people.
Right.
I'm on the phone. Because I am calling like my phone friends a lot more,
Yep.
But boy, it's a drag. It's a drag.
It is. And it's really hard to not talk about this and be negative. It really is. And that's what I was trying to do last night. Is like, there's got to be something positive from this, and there's very few positive things. But I was like, oh wait, well, all the businesses will be open up, and everyone's gonna want to go out, and it's gonna be like the new Black Friday, right? Like everyone's gonna go and spend their money that they haven't been able to spend. I'm like, but what about the local businesses? What about that mom and pop coffee shop that used to be crowded and had, that one guy that's always there with the acoustic guitar playing like Dave Matthews or something. But a lot of that, like, yeah, it's gonna be scary.
Just like they're saying, people are gonna realize like, oh, I gotta support something that's local.
Yeah.
Because that is, I hate Small Business Saturday. Okay. Oh, once a year we really care about it, right? Like it's Black Friday because it's just that was the thing by American Express, by the way.
Yeah.
American Express.
Yeah.
Like every day is Small Business Day.
Yeah.
Right? Get over it. And that's the thing about it that people gotta realize. Like they forget the rules because we're so used to the rules of Coke and Pepsi, Nike, and all that stuff, right? That you forget the rules of like, no, that's not a building. That's a family. That's
Yeah.
a family that owns that building and makes those cheeseburgers for us and has this thrift store for us and makes this coffee for us and employs 20 of your friends and friends of friends. That's what a community is, but we all forget that there's a community because we're so used to strip mall.
Yep.
Like it's hard to find your community Toys R Us, but comic shops are basically the equivalent of that, and they're on death's door now because of this situation.
Right. Even all the local restaurants. We were talking to a chef earlier this week, and Avery asked her, it's like, well, do you guys got DoorDash or Uber Eats or something like that or anything like that? And she's like, oh, hell no, that's way too expensive. That put us under in a week. And that was the first time it dawned on me. I'm like, oh, that's a service they need to pay for. That's a service they need to advertise for. Like, local businesses can't do that shit. Yeah.
Yep. And then all the fraud from the loans, that's fun.
Yeah.
And you keep your nihilistic Yeah, but we can't all be okay with it. That's what happened. 44,000 millionaires got $1.7 million. That alone, let alone Ruth Chris and Potbelly sandwiches and all this nonsense. Because if there's a law, there's a loophole. And if there's a loophole, it's not a law.
Right,
So
right,
people think, oh, I'm not breaking the law.
right.
It's hard to deal with.
And the sad part was is like, okay, so the first week or so when shelter in places were starting to go across the country, right, as states were like more or less shutting down little by little as it's crawling across the country, you know, there's a lot of memes and jokes and videos and everything on, you know, the social media that made it humorous, right? You don't see it anymore.
Well, because it's not funny.
No, it's not funny anymore.
Like, there's some humor we make humor about social distancing. There's humor about people aren't taken seriously. There's humor about El Presidente. There's humor about being all this stuff. But making fun of the actual virus in a way itself is stupid because the death toll's astronomical.
It is.
You know, it's sad. Let's try again. Let's try to pivot the topics here.
Yeah, we keep on going down the dark hole.
But what can we do to solve this? What can we do? That sounds like a big thing. Oh, who are we? Who am I? What you know? But we're a media group. We already make shows. We already entertain.
Right.
Whether it's 3, 5, 11, I've seen numbers of all different times this whole time. Like whether it's that, right? What can we do? What can even just 4 of us do? Not we as individuals. We all have that in our own heads. We're a team.
Right.
Like what should we do?
There's
what
all.
should we do every week? What should we do to make something fun? To make something that is a result of this, but not, you know, to make something in spite of this. To make something, you know, that's not. We're not beaten down by this. We've risen up because of it. What do we do?
Right. So that was something that Sam and I, you know, in the foundations of our company and pulling all of this together, one of the rules that we made is that if it's a local charity, we never charge. We were in talks for a while, but of course there was COVID, that stroke, and it was unfortunate, but we were actually talking about doing a live streaming gaming event with Bookman's over at the Children's Hospital, where the terminally ill children are stuck in a wing of a hospital where, you know, they've been living this, you know, for the majority of their lives, unfortunately. When we were going to go and hype it up, see if we can get guests there and everything like that. I would love to start doing stuff like that, more like community and open events where I'm not looking for the paycheck. I'm looking to bring life and breathe life into everything again. It's like, oh, here, the culture isn't gone. Somebody just accidentally hit the mute button because they sat on the remote on the couch. Like, it's still here. We need to bring it back, and we need to be strong. It isn't just entertainment for the sake of having noise on in the background anymore. It's breathing life back into it and bringing the community back in and involving everybody and having fun with that. And I think, I know they're our sponsor and they're close, and I know this sounds like, you know, oh, I'm just getting a paycheck. We actually aren't getting paid, so I'm saying this right now, and we haven't gotten a paycheck in 2 months on this. Bookman's does a great job of bringing community together at their stores. They do a lot. I mean, even it's from like fortune teller tarot readings all the way to you know, local musicians and artists. And of course, we're there, you know, at least once a month. And you know, the food trucks line up, and there's a lot of people there. We meet people. We accidentally met a guy who we thought we were hiring, and it wasn't even the guy. It was just literally the same name. Some awkwardness there. But no, I want to I want to be able to bring something to the table of Tucson and offering what we can do. I mean, I you know, at the beginning of this, I looked at a lot of missed opportunities as far as like, oh, we could have been, you know, setting up with so-and-so and live streaming paint night. People could do paint night at home. You know, you send them their kit in the mail, and then here's paint night, and the artist is on camera, and I'm like, oh, we could have made money from that, or we could have done this, and could have done that. Now I'm like, I'm not even looking at the money. It's like, I'm just so down that I want people around me, and I want to have fun. And if I got the gear to do it, and, you know, the event calls for it, it's like, let's ride, let's go. And that's what I want to see. I want to hit local businesses. I don't care about, you know, the huge businesses. They don't care about us. No, they don't.
You know what I actually thought of? You want to hear an invention that I have?
What you got, Frank?
I have to figure out a way to do it because it's very if it worked, it'd really work. But I need a better name. I think I came up with a better name for it. Right now, the loose term is corporate reparations. That's a terrible sounding thing. But corporate rewards people like that, or corporate payback, right?
Right.
So, what would be a good example? Is there a way to show you a good? All this stuff is all hooked up. I can't grab it, but let's see. Hang on, I'm gonna go take a photo.
All right. All right. He's gonna take a
I'll be
photo.
right back.
All right. So Sam, what would you bring? I know that you're a big community person as well. Although like you're like me, where you're an introvert. But I mean, really, you've gotten involved in some really big stuff, and like even Mocha in town, that was a big involvement for us and different things. What would you bring? What would you do
Bring to what?
to incite joy in people? What? Well, yeah. What are you gonna do after this? What are you looking forward to? I mean, other than going to the movies.
Honestly, right now, my focus is work. I mean, this kind of shut down a lot of projects I had in the future. So my brain kind of went, okay, well, I'm being shut down. I'm going to focus on something that I'm not being shut down on. My brain kind of just did that flip. Like, you know what? I can't focus on this right now because I can't do anything about it. I'm not able to get anything done. I've had doors just slammed on a lot of projects that I've had in the works. So I said, you know what? I can focus on something else that I can actually make work, and that's what I did. Um, Afterwards, I'll try and pick up a few of the projects again, see if I can get them going, especially Bookman's. We had a lot of videos that we had ideas for, getting more of the Bookman's crew like out in the open, letting people get to know them. I really still want to do that.
Right.
Um,
They're
right
really a
now,
great
it's
group of people.
really hard to focus on that when I can't plan it or, make it even into an actual tangible idea.
Right. No, and I'm feeling your pain when you're saying that because it's kind of like you're almost beaten down a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
and I can see that, I know I drift off on work meetings. I see everybody else. Everybody else kind of tunes out. But I could totally see you, and I want to inspire you a little bit. I can see you sitting at an AMC all day, watching every movie, having that bottomless bucket of popcorn, surviving off of hot dogs and nachos.
And to correct you, AMC. No. Cinemark.
Oh, Cinemark. I'm so sorry.
And it has a bar. And it's next to Dave and Buster's. Yay!
Right, but that goes back to the topic that we're talking about is how are we going to incite that this isn't the end of the world to people? It's like I really feel like people are going to be walking out of their homes and kind of like a daze, like, I guess I do this now. I used to do this. Getting back into life. Avery, what do you got? I mean, you're coming from the music industry. I mean, it's huge. I mean, concerts are huge.
Wait, with what? With what exactly?
How are you going to start bringing back, I guess, joy and excitement back to your local community and whatever that community be, whether it just be your friends, whether it be Tucson as a whole or just the music industry in general? Like, what are you going to be what are you excited for to get out of this? What do you think you could do to just bring life back into things?
I guess we're all just coming from the place that we're creators, so just like anything else, this is, just gonna be one of those things, I guess, eventually. But just hoping to use this time to, just start moving some pieces more towards that direction, and then hopefully by the time this whole thing is kind of ready to be out the door, then we can just keep moving forward with that and keep putting out some creations and things, because it is going to be up to us. Like, why do people go to the movies? Why do people read books or magazines or this, that, and the other thing? It's like you want an escape from reality. You don't want to have to stare this awful things in the face 24/7. You want to go out and enjoy food or friends or get-togethers or stores or museums or whatever, what have you. Like, people, I think, just in general should get back to being able to enjoy that again in whatever means. So I'm just on board to enjoy it, hopefully be able to contribute my part and make some beautiful things that I want to put out into the world. Hopefully people enjoy those. Hopefully it's just more of a means for people to want to do that kind of stuff. Like, this
Right.
showed us that we rely a lot on artistic endeavors and things like that. So just as a whole, we're seeing a lot where we need to support our local communities and how important those communities are. And just moving forward, I hope that sticks and that stays, and we put more of a prevalence on helping those things grow in all aspects. The existing one, helping out for avenues to be created to continue those separate things and making it okay to be artists and to be a part of that world and to know that you can get help and there's going to be options for you out there. So I hope there's more of that gets put into the world.
I agree. And to help our fabulous host, Frank, over here, your best friend forever, Frank, to take a line from one of my favorite movies, which is a weird movie to like, Devil's Advocate. You're a humanist.
With Keanu.
Yeah, with Keanu. You're definitely a humanist. So, I mean, I know that you can incite a lot of joy, a lot of excitement out of a big group of people, but where's your first stop going to be?
What's a humanist?
You like people.
It's true.
It is a trait, yeah. But where's your first stop?
I am doing a lot of it. Like, let me tell you something. Here's the other thing. Here's the flip side of my world. In a weird way, I've never been happy. Weird, right? Because of this situation, I've gotten these weird opportunities to do a lot of stuff where I'm hosting like a telethon, and I'm doing these things helping small businesses. I'm networking a lot. People hire me to do stuff and tell me how much they appreciate all the stuff, because then I am already giving some people free videos. Here, I'll make you a commercial just because you're doing this. Like, I'm making Fourth Avenue a thing, just like I'll just do it great, right? To promote all the businesses. Like, every time I've offered it, no one asks. I say, if y'all need a commercial, I'll make you one. And I don't want to ask still. So I'm just going to make it, and then everyone appreciates it. But it's hard for people to ask for help. I found that's a thing. No matter how many times you're offering for help, people still don't ask.
No.
I don't understand it. I'm not afraid to ask for help. That's why I'm successful, actually, with a lot of the stuff I've done. People volunteer. They always want to volunteer for the bookmobile or for a play or a movie. They want to volunteer, right? And yes, you just volunteer. Volunteering is the only reason I'm a happy person. Because volunteering is how, I've said this before, this is like my dumb motto, right? It's not dumb. Don't make your friends do the things you want to do. Make friends with people doing the things that you want to do. That's why I'm here now.
Right.
That's why Avery brought me here and all that stuff. Where me and my roommate, we could bang out a podcast, and by episode 3, he's out. He doesn't want to do it. He would do it because we're friends, right? You go make friends with people that are so diehard to make material and do all this stuff and have the same attitude about what you're trying to create and the same energy. Because you can't make that. You can't pull that out of people. People have to be doing that, and then
Right.
it's like trying to that's what it is. You got to find other people. You can't get blood from a stone. So you find other people doing the thing, and you help them do it. Because that's going to eventually help you. Either they're going to help you, or you're going to learn a thing by helping them, so that you can do it yourself. People, there's a wrestling term. Someone said, when you teach someone something, 2 people learn. Because when you do that, you're learning too.
Oh, for sure.
Yep. So that's always good. So I've been already trying to I do the classes. I try to teach kids. I try to make all the virtual bookmobile stuff. I'm doing a lot of things. I'm trying to always get people's donations. Hit the share button, world. Just share people's links.
Yeah.
Helping them a lot. A share, when you share someone's link, it feels like they got a Christmas card.
Yep.
Because people don't do it. So share people's links. If you don't have $1 to give, you share a link, and it blows people's minds. It really does. Also, donating $1 to things blows people's minds.
Yep.
Like $1 to someone's Patreon, and at the end of the year, it's $12. It blows their minds, right?
Yep.
I don't do it a lot, but I do it for a couple people. I've changed some bit. So it is all that. That is the drive. And I used to be a really pissed off kid. A lot of this really solved my depression, was volunteering, because then you find a community where people are like, wow, we need you. That's all anybody wants, right? To feel needed, right? Feel wandered around. Where have you been? You didn't show up for 2 weeks. We missed you. Oh, you missed me. All of a sudden, these people that you don't know yet, you have this one thing in common, and you form that group. Because then, I've been doing this for 2 years. Did you know that? Really? I guess we're friends.
Yeah.
That's not what it works.
Right.
So I always recommend and continue to volunteer more. Just like you were kind of saying, it's like you don't need to charge for things. If you're not hurting for money, then yeah, do free things.
Yep.
All the time. If you can volunteer, give someone a gift, do it. I just got my first good paycheck in like a year from doing something because I finished a commission, and I bought my friend a present for like $100.
Yep.
Because she deserves it, and I finally have it. You know what else happened? A friend of mine got his refund. He threw me $50. And I go, whoa, what are you doing that for? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, take it. And I'm like, why? He's like, I haven't been able to be generous in 10 years. He said to me. And I'm like, wow. Right?
That's
My other
huge.
friend, same thing. You know, you're worried about those small businesses? My other friend said the same thing. He doesn't go out to, he works downtown, works for the government, whatever he's doing. He works in Hawaii. In the Department of Transportation. He's the only guy on his entire floor, big corporate office. Every day, yep. And same situation there. And I'll tell you some weird numbers. But he goes in, and now he goes and buys coffee for $4 every day. Because he has a full-time job, got a refund, and that coffee shop is going to go out of business. So every day he picks a new place and spends all his money there at lunch. He used to bring a lunch. He spends money. He's like, I'm not trying to sound like I'm a hero because I'm buying food. I'm like, no, but you're being generous, and that's why you're buying food.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
That's important. Be generous. If you have money, give it away. What a concept, right?
Right.
What a concept. And poor people always give their money away. I've always given my money away. I'm sure most of you. I've been broke my whole life, right?
Yep.
Tip better, right? Bet you tip better than anyone you know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I've worked those service industries. You know, when I see the waiter and I walk in being that jerk at 9 o'clock at night, I'm belligerent with all my friends. Oh yeah, they're getting a huge tip because I know that they hated us. I know that they were cleaning up and preparing to end their shift. Oh yeah, no, they're getting a big tip. No, and that's actually, I don't want to say it's not ethical charity. It's not really charity either. Like, I've always just seen it as being friendly. When my parents had friends over, generosity. Yeah, when my parents had friends over, it was you made sure that your refrigerator was open to them. You made sure that they felt comfortable. You're inviting somebody in your home, you show them hospitality. And I've been doing that.
Warm beverage.
Yeah. Exactly.
You like a warm beverage?
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I grew up in northern Wisconsin, so yeah, usually it was a warm beverage. But no, I try to do that with all of my friends here, and even some of the people I work with that have stopped by my house to get something. It's like, hey, you want a bite to eat? Or hey, try this. I'm working on cooking this, or I picked this up from this restaurant or whatever. Check this out. This is cool. Just doing that. If you are missing your friends and you're practicing proper shelter in place and you're staying home, washing your hands, making sure to only go out when it's essential, one of the coolest things you can do is just open up your house to your friends and watch movies, play board games, listen to music, talk and have conversations. Turn the damn phones off. I mean, I'm a guy of technology. I'm surrounded by, all this technology making the show happen, and I don't want to. Like, I don't want to be on the computer anymore. I'm done. It's a lot.
We're definitely going to open our homes and whatever, and all that stuff, because it is natural. I mean, we've done that. It's not like you're like, I've never let anyone over. I shouldn't do that. That's what it is. But the very concept, I've always said this, because I've always believed in Kickstarters, GoFundMes, and all this stuff, right? Giving your friends money blows their mind. Giving people and acquaintances in the scene, people's comic books that you like, or art. Many people appreciate art, but if you've never bought an art, they never bought an art, like, really do that. Like, Avery's awesome collage box. When I saw those, I'm like, oh, shit. I of course know one of them will be mine. Oh yes, it will be mine one of these days. And I've always said I'm going to make one of those one day. I never have. There's a person that's already doing that. Can I pay you to do this? I'll buy one. Right? Because support each other's art, but give them straight cash. Because if you're at a bar, and it's so weird. Like, if I ask you, like, hey, can I just have $5? We're just sitting around, can I have $5? You look at someone like, what? If you're at a bar, it's like, can you buy me a drink? Yeah. They'll even offer to buy you a drink, right? Who walks in your home and goes, hey, can I give you $5? Nobody does that, right? It's the same thing. So you have to equate that spirit that you do when you buy spirits, to just reality of giving your friends some money.
Yeah.
Some of your friends are completely hurt. If you have a waiter that's a friend's waiter, or anyone that that's been screwed over for a load, or like, oh, they really don't have any money, and I'm still getting paid. Throw them $10 because you just bought them dinner.
Yep.
And buying dinner for somebody is the nicest thing anyone can ever do. You will also then have, how easy. I have a lot of friends, right? And And I'm not bragging. It's like a weird fact. You know why? I'm generous. Because even if I have $5, we're gonna get 2 hot dogs and one of yours. Then, like, give your money to people, and people look at me like a lunatic. Who cares, right? If you, and when I had a job, right? Think about your work. I work 5 days a week at my robot job. Oh, I was sick one day last month, right? I still got through all my bills. Everything's fine, right? Next month, wasn't sick. Gee, I bet I have a whole day I could just, because you know that, right?
Yeah.
Within our means.
Yep.
What if you gave away a whole day's pay? You know, because was it $80 out of your whatever it is, or $60 or $100? Like, and I can't say this. I haven't had a full-time job in forever. This is the way I used to be, because my friends are broke, so I'll buy them the beer, because otherwise I'm drinking alone.
Yep. I always offer to buy. I always offer to help out, and and there is those times when I'm down, but since my door was open to everyone all the time, and I'm not very outwardly spoken when I'm having issues. I'm not one to advertise. Oh shit, missed the car payment, didn't pay the car insurance. Pretty sure I'm gonna get pulled over because I don't got tags on my license. But when you spread generosity and you keep generosity around you, you're never actually poor. There's always someone there because you're gonna have that really bad day and you're gonna snap.
Stick it on a pillow.
Yeah.
Stick it on a pillow. Get it done.
Yep.
There it is.
Yep. You're gonna have your friends suddenly encompass you and like, hey, let's do this. Let's make this happen. What do you need? And I've always been that friend that's like, I'll help you move. Oh yeah, how much money do you want to give me? I'm like, just buy me a beer and feed me lunch. I don't give a shit. Like, I'm here to help.
You get a lot out of me for lunch.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you're a friend, you're local, like, no big deal.
No, it's true, and it goes a long way, more than most people. And again, so do those shares. I get love letters for sharing people's links.
Yep.
I do. People are blown away. Because also, I know how all of this feels. Again, I was really down, and I got sent to me $100 from a friend, $80 from another friend who bought a few of my classes, $20, $5, whatever. I don't have a GoFundMe going. People just send me money because they remember. Simple as that.
Yep.
That was $200 unasked for. That's insane. I walked into Trader Joe's, and I just remember this now, and my old manager, one of my old managers was there, and it was right after I got furloughed, and a lot of people, I didn't realize, I got let go. They tried to close kids' events first, right?
Right.
So all my stuff got canceled a little bit before a lot of people, because when I posted that, I got shared 32 times like it's news. Not everyone's out of work, right? Where it's like it's not news, where it's the situation. That dude, Adam, gave me. He goes, how are you doing? I'm like, I don't know. And he just gives me. He's like, here. He just took his wall of cash out of his wallet. It was like $40. Here you go. Just gave me $40 cash, and I was able to buy 2 milks and an egg. Like, it was the nicest thing, and I was close. It's been bad, and that's when the depression was real bad. Some of the situations. So even that, I've been given some money because people remember how generous and when I give and when I care, and just make a big deal about their birthday. Like, isn't it fun to be friends? I don't know what it is. So shy. Know what I like to tell the world? You never bothering anybody. Send them a note, send them a text, call them out of nowhere. You never bothering them. My sister never calls me because she's always like, oh, you're always so busy. She's my sister. I can tell this 1,000 times for 20 years. Still never calls me. Right? She can't call Pete's guy. If she is, then you gotta call.
That's me too. I'm like, nah, I like that we can use apps and like this social distancing thing. This world is like my world already. It literally isn't any different at all.
Yep.
Minus the fact that like we're not streaming.
Right. And I miss you guys coming over here at night streaming. Danielle and I were talking about that the other night. Studio mom. She loved taking care of you guys and seeing you guys, throughout the week. And everyone's like, oh, we don't want to encroach. The studio's in your house, and we're, somebody's always there. It's like, we miss it. It's like, guys, like, we had so many different random conversations and good conversations with everyone who would come in. it was kind of like, some of these fantasy books you read about travelers coming into a city out in the middle of nowhere, and everyone jumps out. It's like, what's the news? What's going on in town? What's going on over here? It's kind of how I felt when, everyone came over to stream or hang out or whatever, or even like Avery bringing over some local artists and local businesses, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like, what do you do? How'd you start? What was your journey like? I miss that, and I think that's a huge part of human life. And if you don't have that in life, you know what? Maybe when we get out, give it a try. Actually talk to people. Engage in a conversation.
Guys, maybe we just gotta go out. Give life a try. Like, he's so good at it. It's like the third time you've done something.
So
good.
Oh man, this social distancing really made me see life different. Go out, be friends with everyone.
Right. No, 2 weeks after, at the end of May, we'll have a different conversation.
I missed the quarantine.
Right.
It was better.
How about we all just stay in on like Monday through Thursday, and we only talk like Friday to Sunday?
Friends, let's do a little bit of both.
Oh man.
I mean, you gotta, I think it's also good for people to spend some time with themselves in some sense.
I think
Whether
so.
or not, I don't think necessarily a lot of people get themselves that chance or necessarily get
Nope.
that chance. And whether we're prepared for it, I think it could be a good thing.
And it's a little different because, when you get married, it's like our friends, right? Like, it doesn't become like, oh, you got friends, you got friends. It kind of becomes like our friends, right? Like, you're joining a community together. And, like, my phone has not stopped blowing up. My phone has not stopped blowing up. And Danielle's looking at me. She's like, who are you talking to? I'm like, everyone. All the fucking time. They won't leave me alone. Like, what are you doing? What are you up to? You want to hop on this game? Do you want to do this? Hey, what are you guys doing for the stream? Hey, what's going on with this? I'm like, stop.
I was gonna say that. My payment is gamer, does leave the house, works from home, and programmer, right? This thing didn't change up. That's half the reason I can't get him to hang out. I'm like, hey, do you want to watch? He's like, oh, there's 9 of us actually right now. We're going to raid the whole thing.
Hey, what up, Nightwing? And Gonzo's on. Hey, Gonzo, thanks for seeing us. Adam is on. Sorry, haven't been keeping up on chat here. Gonzo, one of my favorite guys ever. He's cool. I like
I
Gonzo.
know, I miss Gonzo too.
Want to hear my fun invention?
Oh, yeah, yes. What you got your invention?
Here's my fun invention that I was going to call corporate reparations, but that's terrible, and it'll never work. So we have to guildsman some way. Corporate guilds, maybe some sort of corporate whatever. So what I would like to do, and it's probably gonna be via Twitter, maybe Sneals or whatever, but it's gotta be like one of these public things, right? And I have to say, dear Nestle School, I have given you all of my money.
Not just some of my money, but all of it.
5 years old. 5 years old, Nestle's quick. I love you the most. Think of that. Chocolate milk. I'm 30. That's at least 35 years, class after class. I don't know how much your average thing in Nestle's. Oh wait, yes I do, because I buy it all the time. So I figure maybe. Do you think you could throw me back a little that green sugar? Because I could use it. That's what I think we need to do. I think we need to ask our corporate masters for like, hey, I've really supported you, Chips Ahoy.
These companies just start sending us care packages just on
They
the
should
door.
have.
Hey, you've been a loyal customer. You're in quarantine. Here's our latest 3 packs of cookies. Oh,
And they should. And then
really?
what happens?
Why aren't they doing that?
And they get a customer for life. They already kind of got a customer for life, but then it's my heirs as well.
Right.
I
No.
think it's a good idea.
Frank, I haven't known you a long time, but I can already imagine the way that you talk about things and the way you get excited about things. I can actually see a line item in your budget on your ledger going Nestle products.
And I've got a few. Dear WWE. Let me tell you something, brother. Here's my tattoo. Where is it? There it is. There you go. All the money's been spent, Vince. I purchased 1998. That's $50 a clip.
Yep. Yep.
Give it all back. Give me a little bit. Give me back 2002. Just give me back 2002. That's all I need. I think.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, and there's.
That would be $600. If, like 50 was $50. That's a rent, Vince McMahon.
That's rent.
That's one of my solutions, I think, to our modern world is I have to ask for money back. Things like the WWE, Nestle Squick, perhaps, I don't know, dear chocolate in general. I don't know what else.
Right.
How many action figures do you have?
Right.
What companies are those?
Exactly.
What companies? Try getting money out of Disney. Ha! Good luck.
Yeah, you know what? Disney might do it. Remember, they lowered that Disney Plus to cheap. I think that was their way to. But,
Oh man, no! I'm looking around me and I'm like, I'm the electronic gadget guy. So I don't know. Maybe just go to Japan and say it's like, you guys owe me like an open credit card for a couple months and just get all the.
Ask for like a 1% payback, and it would be this amount.
Oh
Like,
my God.
They don't owe it to you, but it's like, you know, it'd be nice. A gift, a donation from a lifelong fan and friend of your product. Like, I think it's a good idea. They've got the money. They're not making less money.
Yeah.
Nintendo's only making more money.
Yeah, all the electronics, all the streaming services, all of the gaming industry, even the movie industry. Like, oh, the movie industry, what's gonna happen to Hollywood? Like, pff, nothing. You know.
They're going to be absolutely flooded.
I mean, they're like, oh, they're only making like fractions of pennies per stream. And I'm like, yeah, and everyone's effing streaming right now.
Yeah,
Like, you know who's running away with the money? Disney, Time Warner, Sony.
You know what about that? Maybe people that are really good at going, I care about don't need to make $25 million to show up somewhere for, like, maybe that. How about we cut some of those paychecks? Give it to nurses and doctors. Feel me, yeah, testify.
Oh yeah, no, and oh man, these frontline workers are insane. Like at one point in time in my life, I almost went down a career path in the medical career. I was almost going to be an EMT. Like I had a few friends that were doing it. I thought it was like really cool. You know, they're going through like, you know, it's almost like a watered down quick version of, you know, med school for 2 years. And I was like, oh, this would be really cool. The problem was that I grew up in a town of 6,500 people. Everyone knew everyone. So my first...
You grew up in a high school?
Yeah, exactly. No, my graduating class was like 60 people. I'm not joking. Yeah, it was tiny.
1,100.
Oh man, if you came home at the end of the day at school and your parents were like, oh, how was your day? You had to tread lightly. It was like, what neighbor did you talk to? Anyways.
I still don't like people knowing anything about me. From a small town. I hate it. I hate it. It's like I'm a very private person, partly because of that, yeah. And I went to a high school. I graduated with half of one person.
Yeah.
Sam,
I graduated with 2 people.
oh my God, this is just going down the line. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Where
So.
did you grow up? Antarctica? Where did you grow up?
I came here in Tucson at like a small charter school, so
A small charter school, you only had 2?
yeah.
Other people? Wow, that's crazy. I wouldn't even think there would be like 10 or something, you know, but dang, that's nuts.
Wow. No,
Yeah,
Long
my
Island.
graduating class, so in like 3 years, I think, and it's gonna be like 10 year for me, so I'm gonna be like, hey, I'm gonna call this one person, be like, how are you doing? How's the past 10 years been? It's been great, man.
That's cute. 10 years. That's cute.
Yeah, my 10 years is supposed to be this year. I
Oh,
guess
yeah.
if the thing doesn't go, I'm not going. I'm not going.
I actually have.
I went to my 10 years.
I would like, I don't know, I have like a mental breakdown even imagining. Like, I feel like I just feel so disconnect from the person that I was. Like, I don't even go by the same name.
Oh my God,
you know?
yeah, I know.
Like, I killed that person, so it's like, when I go into my hometown, I almost feel like, I don't know who to what I am right now. I need to go. So I couldn't imagine being there with like the 5 people who are probably going to show up.
Right.
Even worse.
Be so
We're all
weird.
just have to talk in a small group, and who knows who's going to be there. That sounds super
Right. So going back to the small town thing, the frontline workers, oh my God. So the things that they don't tell you, like, and I can tell you this story because I lived it. It was during winter, and I was on call. It was my first time ever having the radio, right? And I was within 2 blocks of the garage, so I didn't have to stay at the garage. I was able to stay at home, and I could just run down the road and be there and hop in the ambulance. There was a huge pileup on the interstate, and I got the call, and I jump on there. It was one of the worst crashes in that area in almost 20 years. And I'm not going to get too descriptive because, but the things, yeah, right. The smells of the vehicles on fire, the people screaming, the children that were involved, with ice on the road. Yeah, these people who are working on the front lines as doctors, nurses, emergency people, even like the labs. Oh my God, just testing things right now. Like they're in their own quarantine of trying to save the world, and all they're doing is running the same test over and over again. These are the people you got to be generous to. Like if you have a friend who's a nurse, who's a doctor, who works in the medical field at all in any way, like just give them a hug. After the quarantine is lifted, yeah, buy them dinner, give them a hug, see how they're doing, talk to them.
My cousin is a nurse, and I'll leave you. I'm not going to give you any statistics because she tells us stuff, right? That you don't hear about as much.
Right.
And she's in New York, and it's horrifying.
Yeah.
My mom and dad bought her all her floor pizza, $100 to buy the floor pizza.
That's awesome.
And they wept, they cried.
Yeah.
They're so nice,
And the company that the three of us work for, Frank, we're trying to get you in. This is a wonderful company we work for because they're all about helping kids, right? And although yes, it is a paycheck, it's a very fulfilling job. One of the biggest things that I learned, and I'll talk about it a little bit, is that they call it a toodle. Now, of course, this program is designed for kids in classrooms, and what a toodle is you're writing a note to someone in your class. Doesn't need to be a friend. Doesn't even need to be a student. It could be a teacher or a staff member. Writing them a note about how they're doing something good, or what you like about them, or just saying hi. And the tangible evidence of literally writing a note, which would be the adult equivalent of giving somebody a card and just writing down, hey, you're awesome. Keep going doing that shit. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for doing that. Like right now, that's huge and needed for all of these people who are really extending themselves to keep things going. I've printed out emails of people who have said thank you to me for working, the 16, 17-hour shifts that Sam and I have been working. And Avery, I'm sure you've been too, of trying to pull together what was not meant to be a virtual training into a virtual training in a matter of a week. Like everything had to be reworked, massaged, re-rendered.
A lot of above and beyond.
Right, writing, and even if it's just your roommate, even a significant other, they're in your house with you, stuck with you too, learning about all your bad habits that you thought you got away with for years, right? Write them a note. Give it to them.
Is that what you discovered?
Yeah. I think, oh my God. So, yeah, my wife working right behind me, she's like, oh my God, you're how do you work? How do you get anything done? Like, I saw you get up like 5 times in the past hour. Are you getting anything done? I'm like, well, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to do this. Like, I'm staring at this thing for like a couple hours. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to do this. So, like, I get up, I walk away, I'll clean something, or I'll come back, or, I'll go over in the social media world a little bit, or I'll go over here, do this. And she's like, God, your work ethic is horrible. I'm like, I've never missed a deadline. I've never not gotten it done. Like, I will sit there to the last hour to figure out the absolute best way to do something, because I'm such a perfectionist that even if I toss it out there and it's last minute and they're like, oh, thanks for scrambling this together, I'm like, no, it was 3 hours of fucking torture. No, but give them a note. And this is to our viewers too. Write, just practice this. Write your loved one a note. Start with a loved one, somebody you know, and how much a difference it makes in their day. Saying something in passing, or, you know, just saying thank you, you know, those are good manners. But when you actually write it down and you have a date on it and you sign your name to the bottom, that's something you stick on the refrigerator or somebody leaves on their nightstand to look at or on their desk. And that's something huge. I mean, that's something generosity that you can spend to other people. You know, you don't have to give somebody money. If you're flat out broke and you're like, I can't give my friend money, but pen, paper, note, here you go. I mean, even if you're writing it on that precious piece of last sheet of toilet paper, right? Yeah. I've gotten thank you notes on bar napkins before when I've gone out to conventions and I helped random so-and-so in the next room over where they're trying to do their convention and their AV equipment went down. I went over there, oh yeah, you just got to do this, this, and this. And, you know, like, their whole group of corporate people are, like, buying me drinks and dinner and everything. It's so amazing when you just do a small thing. It doesn't need to be huge.
Can I tell you something? I've changed my relationship with Facebook a lot because of that same thing. Because I don't like making, here's a post. All my posts are just commercials. It's like, watch this, I made that, I'm doing that, right? So it feels like a lot of time I'm always promoting a thing. And it's just like, I rarely am just like, wasn't this show good? So, and when I do that, then I feel like I'm a slave to Disney, you know? So, it's weird. I have a weird relationship with that. You know what I found that I like now? Commenting on just randomly commenting tons of people's stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's nice to just write good things to people.
Yep.
It is right. It is nice to just leave comments and write nice, good things or good job or way to go or you're great, all that. It is nice. So, on that thing, a friend of mine said, you know, you popped in my head the other day. You sent me a long note. But it was so fun. Because it was like, he had to do this. It's like, let me put my masculinity over here, right? And I just got to tell you this thing. Blah, 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 blah. And you're really great. I was thinking about you the other day. Don't bring it up again. Don't bring it up again. He wrote, let's move past this.
That's totally a guy thing.
So funny. And then I, of course, busted his balls about it. But it was hard for him to do that. But he couldn't help it. But it was hard for him to, like, I don't want to, he's like, I don't want to seem like I'm kissing your ass. Like, what? How is it impossible?
No, and that's an odd thing. Like, for men to compliment each other is such a rarity. Women do it all the time. Like, oh, that outfit's so cute. Like, you know, like,
How's that go?
yeah, your outfit's so cute. Oh my god. Yeah, no, totally. Stereotypes exist for a reason. You exactly knew where I was going with that. All of you, do not give me shit. But no, women give each other women are so much better at giving other people compliments than what men are to each other. I mean, I can give compliments to women all day long, in very non-sexual way. Like, a lot of my friends are women, but like, I make sure when Gonzo comes over, I make sure when Frank comes over, it's like, hey, you're looking good today, man. That beard, good trim job. That's awesome. Or like, even if I'm sarcastic and I can't come up with anything better, I'm using Gonzo as an excuse because he's in chat yet. Gonzo came over and his pants were a little tight. I'm like, dude, nice ass. And he just kind of looked at me and he's like, all right, cool.
I'm not sure if that situation
Not always appropriate, but finding something to give a compliment to someone isn't hard to do. You know, you can always find something. It's like, dude, that t-shirt branded, you got that from Walmart. I know exactly the cubby you grabbed it from. $3, good job. Anything, it works.
Those are certainly the compliments I like. That said, I'm good. How do you feel? You feel better? I feel better.
I feel a lot better. How do our viewers feel? Did you learn anything?
Let's hope.
Like chat catch up. They're 10 seconds behind.
How you doing? You're
Good,
far
tired.
more lively. That's for sure.
I'm tired. Like,
I know. It's too
Yeah.
much. It's too much.
too much screen time. I'm ready to throw my computer away for a while. Goodbye, computer screen.
I wish I could too.
Same.
I would just.
We'll all go Amish right after this. It'll be a fun journey for us all.
I don't know if we're on that.
Hey, and if you guys got like the Hulu subscription, you got Disney, you got Netflix, you know, because you got all the streaming services to watch all the shows, and you're running into things to not watch, I bet you there's a book somewhere sitting in your house that you haven't read that you want to read.
Watch Killing Eve first. If you're of appropriate age, just watch it. It's great. Chris, you need to finish. I'm staring at you.
I've been reading.
I'll promote you
Rick and
for
Morty
watching.
is coming out in 3 3 days.
I don't know that.
That's
Lego Masters. Go treat yourself.
Oh,
to
that
Lego
was
Masters.
great. It's so cute.
I watched like the first 3 episodes. They're really good. I gotta catch
It
up.
only gets better.
I gotta catch up.
You have time to watch Lego Masters.
I love Will Arnett. I need.
It only gets better. It's really funny.
Yeah. All right, guys. I think we had a good podcast. I think we had a good hey, we're still here. We're still alive. Let's catch up. This was more or less an.
Helped a lot of people.
Yeah.
Some good advice.
That's a good advice.
Some-
Make sure to tune in Saturday. We're hanging out with After the Com again. I love After the Com. Yay! Hey, Venus! I support local things. Look at me.
I gotta be back to work in like 12 hours.
I have to be back to work now.
Yeah, I gotta
Oh,
still work.
God.
That's what I'm
That's
going
why I
to
got FOMO. I was looking at the comments, they're like, Sam talks a lot. I'm like, yeah, because I'm at work right now. Answering emails. I'm sorry. I got
Well,
stuff to do.
We're gonna have a lot of content for you guys coming back out. We have not gone anywhere. We have not lost our spirit. We are busy taking opportunities where we can. We're all contractors, and you know, although although we like to think that money doesn't make the world go round, I still have bills to pay, and I gotta strike when it's good. So when we come back in full force, I'm going to say 2 to 3 weeks. I really hope this is going to be over in 2 to 3 weeks. When we come back in full force, we're gonna have some fun, guys. We really are. Frank.
Let's go.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
We're gonna have fun before that too.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna be streaming. I'm gonna be out doing things. We're funny.
I think there's gonna be the 1 week hiatus of go out and get sun, learn to hate people again, and then come back.
Yeah, it's fun. Go out, go to a bar.
um,
I'm just gonna get lost in the party for the next 3 years.
I want to thank all of you guys, Avery, Sam, Frank, for being here. You guys are awesome friends. Thank you for joining Sam and I on this journey. Sam, thank you for putting up with all my bullshit and not killing me yet. I know that you know how to. You do a lot of research. Thank you
I don't
so.
want me killing you.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Gives me ideas.
Right.
Someone pissed me off.
Yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. What do you say, Frank? You want to talk us out here?
I love you all. This has been great.
Yeah.
And we'll have fun and hang out. Make sure you watch what I'm doing on Saturday too. I do a telethon TV show now. And we're raising money for small businesses. It's really fun. And paying artists to do stuff. I'm gonna try and get all of us to do a Mario Kart race.
That would be fun.
Right? That's all I want to do.
Excited.
Now that
I
we've done this, yeah, now that we've done this, we can do it. Because now we got
Yeah.
words. We'll just do it. And Chris knows what buttons to push, what switches to pull.
Oh, I gotta do things. Hold on. Here we go. Things, stuff, happening. We saying bye?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye. You too.